Alright guys, hello and welcome to a new video on the channel. So this video, what is it? It's going to be 3D modeling in Google Sketchup, and this is the advanced video of the interface because I figured since there's quite a lot of features to the interface, why not just break it up a little bit so it's easier to digest. I will put the link to the two previous videos if you haven't watched them, or if you just want to, go through the links that I put in there. They're pretty much the same links though. And I'll also put those links in the description below. Anyways, so what is advanced in Google Sketchup? That is pretty much how you change the style or the environment you're modeling inside, called styles. Right now, the default is whatever the template you kind of came into SketchUp with, because usually you'll have a prompt that'll tell you, hey, what kind of environment do you want to use for your modeling? Do you want to use landscape? Do you want to use simple? Do you want to use architecture? Do you want to use engineering? Or something like that. And usually you'll pick one of the lists there. And you'll have US or UK measuring systems. Now, with that said, I'm going to go and start with the styles. After that, I'm going to cover a little bit on the contour stuff because that's pretty important stuff that I consider the advanced components of the feature set. And let's just go and start on the styles. Now, in styles, in order to get there, you have styles in your default tray, and you can usually go through a selection here. It doesn't really matter what you choose. You can go with a lot of different colors. As you can tell, um, it varies quite a lot. Now, if you don't already know this, on my channel here, there is a video that I have. It's like 7 seconds long, and it's basically a whatever kind of an intro you're looking for made in Google SketchUp. And it's an MP4 video. It's very quick. It has no audio. I'll put the link in the description for you, and if you want, I can actually go ahead and put like a little annotation here, and you'll pretty much see that you can use camera perspectives and multiple cameras in SketchUp so that you can make a sort of decent kind of intro. It's not the best because Google SketchUp you cannot animate that well. Now I say that with a lot of assumptions made, but it's I feel a pretty accurate statement because in Google SketchUp, when you're animating scenes, you're not animating objects, you're animating the camera itself, and that does not mean an actual animation is occurring. So that's why it's not that easy to really make good animation here. But with that said, that rant done, let's just go and show you some of the other little things with the styles, because if you ever choose a style and you want to back out of it, in order to back out, you need to go to your in model at the very top, and you need to go to the one you came in with. This is landscape architecture style. That is the one with the template that you chose when you came into the screen for SketchUp. Now, with that done, let's go right into the contours. Okay, so let's do some random lines here and do that. Now, you can always generate some really fun randomness to make contours. And if you don't understand what a contour is, the summary on that is simply a line on a topographic map that distinguishes how much meters or distance above sea level, if you assume sea level is 0 meters high. Um, and this is something that mostly deals with the idea that you know how high are you above sea level. I think somewhere in Colorado, I think Denver is the mile high city because it's a mile high above the sea water level, and it's insane living there. I mean, so anyways, let's talk about the contours. This is a generated tin. Tin stands for terrain something something, because I don't know what the other two letters mean. But the important thing is that you now have a really nice, really cool looking thing over here that is kind of weird, but you could probably work with it if you're trying to make landscape. In fact, this will allow me to show you real quick. If you had a house, small little house here, right? And so we go 1.5, I guess. And we will quickly make a weird looking, very simple house here. Okay, don't know what was that. Okay, so there's our little house. Okay, we make into a group using G real quick, just a simple object. And I don't know the shortcut for bringing that in, so we can just quickly bring it on in. And we'll go ahead and delete these lines all the way over here. Okay, because we don't need this. Now, notice this house that we quickly made is on the hill. It's actually kind of in it, right? So in order to deal with that, you have to make sure it's above your tin, your surface, if you will, right? Notice how it's hovering. That's important. You need that, okay? And now in here, just in case, I highly recommend you explode it. You don't have to, but I noticed when I was doing a pre-run, that's the best way to work with it. So with that being the case, I think to do this easiest is go into here, hit your stamp. You need the toolbar out here to do it quickly. Stamp, and with this red border, if you notice the red border here, okay, if you uh, if you hit stamp, the idea is you hit the surface, and you can start to see how basically how well it will look when it is quite literally stamped on the surface. So here, let's stop there, okay? And now, if you want to orbit around, you can kind of get a look and feel for it, okay? So this is what it'll look like if you decide to go with that. And if you do go with this, that's perfectly good. That's awesome choice, right? You just need to hit that and go right against that edge. And if you like the choice, if you're pretty happy with it, you can go hit that group object you imported and just hit explode. And now every single thing is connected and it looks nice. Now, let's say you have a riverbed, or maybe a road even, and let's say there's a garage there somewhere. In that case, what you can do, remember that, keeping in mind that this is exploded, the tin, what you can do, let's say you have a road like that, okay, maybe not like that, okay, maybe like that, and, right, and we can do, camera, okay, so let's say that's our road, or river, whatever. Okay, and now you can see that it's a little bit clearer, or more obvious that it could be. And let's give it a nice simple color of asphalt, right? And asphalt, where's asphalt? Asphalt, okay. And we got a blacktop, okay, perfect. So now we have that, right? So if we try and put this onto the surface, right? We can clearly see, again, the problem being it's going through it and above it, and it's not really, actually the way we want. So how do you deal with that? So if you notice this issue, you can also do this, of course, or not. um, okay, so make it a little bit bigger. You want to make sure it's above your surface, and it's not going into the house. Alright, so notice it's hovering above. That's what you want mostly. Alright, now just in case, let's nudge it a little bit more, and now we should be, now we should be perfectly above the surface, right? Just like that. Now, to get this road on this hill, in order to do it, you need to hit the drape key. Doing this, you will see, okay, doing the drape, you will notice right off the bat, it has now been draped, like as if it were, a blanket kind of falling upon, the bed, or, your carpets are being laid down, it matches, it's kind of like this. That's how it'll go. And now, all you need to do is hit that thing, and you'll immediately notice you can do the same coloring. And bam, right? And now what you have is your road. It is literally on the hill. And it's perfect right now. If you thought this was perfect, then you're done. If you don't like it, you can always do a little bit more stuff. Now, if you don't want to do it like this, you want to do it a little differently. You want to do things from scratch. Although technically that's from scratch, Google Sketchup says there's another way to make stuff from scratch. Okay, so if we go over to this thing here, which we made using the from scratch key, then what you can do is you can do add detail, for example, or not, explode, and then you can add detail, and you can add more detail, and you can add even more detail, right? And if you want, it doesn't really have to be done, but you can flip edges if you feel like it. So notice my cursor turned into this. I can flip some of these edges here, right? You see that? It's a very nice, weird tool. It's not, I don't think it's used that often, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and it is. Um, it just depends. It really does. But anyway, so that's how you do that, okay? So imagine if you had all of this stuff here, okay? And if you want to select everything real quick and easy, just go reverse like that. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you can hit the smooth key, okay? And, okay, give it a sec. Give it a sec. This is Google Sketchup at its finest sometimes, because this is something I don't think you get in, say, Blender or even Unity. I don't think is an option for you to generate, but it's pretty sweet stuff. Now, if you want this to be, basically, this is where you can make your own hills and whatnot. It's pretty awesome stuff. So, last bit here to show you. If you right click, oh boy. My God. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to go back to my notes in quotes here because there were some really old videos I had watched about this stuff, and I haven't done it in a while. But the idea that we're doing is we're trying to make basically a surface using a generated sandbox from Google Sketchup. And let's say you wanted to do something like that, except smaller scale, kind of. The idea would be to take, let's say, something like that, do a smooth on it, and once you have smooth, you can actually kind of do something like this, and you can start to see that it kind of bows like so. And if you like it, let's say you liked it a lot, and you just want to say, okay, well, we're just going to select everything here, make sure we have everything, bounding edges and bounding faces, and we say, not from contours, because you don't always have to, right? So if you, basically what it comes down to is you're going to test. So you wanted to make sure. That's how you know, because it's not a 10. So in order to do it, you have to actually go to your tray, or if you don't want to go here, you can go to edit, and here you should be able to do the entities and then do a soften smooth, and it'll open up the tray for you potentially. If it doesn't, that's fine, it's not too big of a deal, and you can just hit the thing like that, and okay. So now we should have a very nice looking flat thing, or like this. And now, what you could do if you really liked it, if you really like what you have here, you can always just go select it like this, and you can make it into a group so it is your very own tin, if you want. Now, if you don't like it, you want to change it, there's of course some ways you can change it. You can use the scale like this. You could kind of do that, you can do that, although it's kind of the same thing, right? And if you want to, you could always have fun with it like this. You know, just have fun with it. That's the beauty of Google Sketchup, is you can do really weird things. Imagine that as a really fat slide for a water park. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to show you. The stamp, the drape, the smoothing from contours, from scratch, all these beautiful things, flip edges too. And if you really like this video, go and hit that like button. I appreciate any and all support. And if you really want to stay up to date with everything that's coming your way, go and hit that subscribe button for me. I really appreciate you keeping up and watching these videos as much as I like making them for you guys. I know people are benefiting, that's why I keep doing it. So anyways, with that said, I'll leave you to it and have an awesome day.